Good morning. My name is Joel, and it is absolutely a joy to be together again today. It's been so nice even seeing the chat that has been going on this morning already. Here we have a birthday happening today. Happy birthday, Dave. And also just, hey, wasn't it amazing weather yesterday? It was really, really great. It's so nice when the weather starts to turn, and it just, I don't know about you, but when it starts to get sunnier, you just feel more hopeful somehow. And it was so great to enjoy. We went out yesterday and enjoyed the weather on a nice long walk. So it is absolutely just great to be together. Now, we're in the middle of a series called Totally Devoted. And we've stepped back in time to just take a look at the very first church and the message of hope that they brought, which changed the world. You know, there have been some amazing sessions, and if you've missed any, you can catch them all. Just go back online, catch them on a YouTube channel. And there's loads of great content there as well for the whole family. If you haven't yet done so, I'm going to ask you, just please remember, subscribe to the channel. The reason we ask you to do this is because the more people that subscribe, the more the message of hope gets shared with other people. So it's a really simple way to do everything we can to reach everyone we can. Just click subscribe, and if you like the video, like it. And if you think it's worth sharing, please pass it on. Share the message. What a simple way to share the good news with one another today. Together, let's do everything we can to reach everyone we can. Now, we've got some really good news to share. We are so excited that after Easter, we are going to be running an Alpha course. In a moment, we're going to watch a short video. And is there anyone in your life who you could invite? Is there anyone in your life that could do with hearing some good news? Let's just watch this short video together now.
This old friend of mine, Helen.
My best friend.
My friend Colin invited me to try Alpha.
Y recuerdo que mi papá me dijo, mira, hay comida gratis, ve.
They handed me an invitation.
It was just a random invitation.
And I said, like, why not? Why not? Let's try it.
Why not? Let's go.
And I found like a really awesome community of people.
They helped me find who I was just by listening.
Alpha helped me in the knowing of God.
Empecé a entender que el amor es de muchas maneras.
I just knew.
I was a different person from that moment on. I knew I had purpose.
I felt really comfortable in like starting to invite my friends.
I've seen Alpha really impact people that I work with.
I would definitely encourage people to get involved. It's one of the coolest things I've ever experienced.
It all turned out to be life-changing.
I love that video. That video reminds me that the message of hope is for all nations and for all people. Now, who in your life could do with hearing some good news? I'd encourage you, just pass it on. Just share the news. Invite someone. The worst that could happen is they decide not to come, and that's fine. The best that could happen, they say yes, and they come and take some steps to discovering more about what it means to follow Jesus. You know, we know that life has ups and downs. We have seasons that change. It's sunny and it's rainy sometimes. And we're going to sing a song together in just a moment. And this song reminds us that in whatever circumstances we find ourselves in, we can call out to God. And as we worship together, there will also be an opportunity for you to join the mission of doing everything we can to reach everyone we can. There's going to be instructions that come up on the screen that will show you how to give and donate. You can do it either online through the website, or you can also do it via a mobile. And the instructions will come up on screen. It's super simple if that's something that you'd like to partner with. But before we do that, I'm just going to say a short prayer. God, we thank you for being our unfailing hope. In every season and in every circumstance of life, we are so grateful that we can put our hope in you. And Father, for anyone who's in a tough season of life right now, our prayer is that they would know your protection, and your presence. And for anyone who does not yet know your love, our prayer is that as we worship together, they would get a taste, a sense, an experience of your presence, and they would begin to know the hope that is found in you. In your name we pray, amen. Let's worship together now.
I raise a hallelujah in the presence of my enemies. I raise a hallelujah louder than the unbelief. I raise a
absolutely love that song. To me, it feels like just a battle cry of defiance, that no matter what is happening in our lives, we can cry out to God. In the middle of the storm, we can cry out. And I love just that battle cry of defiance. You know, I don't know about you, but over lockdown, you may have, done something new or different. For example, you likely watched a lot more TV than you were normally. Now, on average, recent data has said that people are watching 72 minutes more TV per day than usual. I'd like you to do something for me. I would like you to put in the chat, if you've watched any programs over lockdown, anything that you've watched over lockdown, just pop in what your favorite movie or program that you've watched over lockdown. Just pop that in the chat for me. It'd be great to see what sort of stuff we've been watching over this last season. According to a recent survey with USwitch, 42% of people between the ages of 16 and 24 have confessed to, wait for it, Netflix cheating. I didn't even know this was a thing. But Netflix cheating is when you've been watching a series with your partner or a friend, and you go ahead and watch the next one, and you do it without them. And then later on, you sit down to watch it together, or you do a watch party, and you pretend like it's the first time you've seen it. Oh, I never knew he was the bad guy. I didn't see that coming, did you? And that's Netflix cheating. So, see, this lockdown is just teaching us so many new things. So I look forward to seeing in the chat if you've put anything in there yet about some of the programs or some of the shows that you've watched. As a family, we have watched a lot more TV. It was one of the only things that we could do. We have watched all of the Marvel films. We watched them all again. We did it from start to finish. And I also have to confess, we may have watched a certain new Disney series called The Mandalorian, and we also watched that more than once. Someone in my house has watched it 3 times already. So if you haven't seen it, it's good. But yeah, pop in there. It'd be great to hear what some of the shows that you have watched have done. Have you ever watched any of those moving house programs? When someone is looking to move house and they're being shown different properties, they make a big deal about the views. What can you see from the window? Check out this view. Look at these mountains. Look at these fields. Look at these hills. Look at this ocean. Look at the colors. Look at the sunset and the sunrise. You watch a home decor or design show, and they tell you to make the most of the views. They set the bedroom in such a way so that you can see out the window into the grand vista and the natural landscapes. They tell you to even try to bring the outside inside. Maybe, since we've had these updates about, hopefully from the summer, returning to more normality in the UK, you started to think about a holiday. Have you started looking already? Maybe you've gone online. Maybe you did that old-fashioned thing and tried to get a brochure. So many of these things all talk about the view. Gorgeous seaside views. Stunning mountain views, pristine lakeside views, peaceful country views, sprawling urban city views. People buy houses because of the view alone. People book a holiday because of the view. They pick accommodation because of the view alone. People hike for miles and they get through bracken and rough terrain because of a view. They get up early and they walk long hours. They arrive at the summit tired with slightly sore legs. They sit down at the top, and as they wipe the sweat from their brow, they know that the hard work was all worth it. just take a look at that view. The cost is worth it because of the view. Changing your life is worth it because of the view. The hard work is worth it because of the view. I don't know what your view of church is. To some, it's a boring institution that's out of touch with real life. To others, it's a place you go to get married or buried. It could be where you go at Christmas and you sing some carol songs, or you visit because you're actually staying with those friends or those relatives who, this is their thing, so you have to go along with them. To others, it's just a comical farce. Others' view is that it's just a place for old women and children. It's not a place that any real men would ever go to. To others, maybe it's just a symbol of power, and it represents all that is wrong with controlling the masses. And maybe it's just a place where those who are weak or those that need help go to. Maybe you think of it's just the place for sort of middle-class people, or maybe it's just for those who are intellectual. Or maybe it's for those who aren't very intellectual and are easily susceptible to being brainwashed. To others, it represents the place that they got hurt and offended, and they swear that they will never darken the door of a church ever again. Like I said, I don't know your view of church. But today, I want to take you to a window. It's a large window. And together we're going to look through it. And I invite you to lean in and look through this window with me. Bring your curiosity. Let's be nosy together. This is a window that you're allowed to look in. Bring your disappointments and your disillusions, your hurts and your heartaches. Bring your objections and your challenges. Lean in with me and let's look at this view. They devoted themselves to the teaching, to fellowship with one another, to breaking bread, eating together, and prayer. Everyone was filled with awe at the many wonders and signs done by the apostles. All the believers were together and had everything in common. They sold their possessions and their property, and they gave to anyone who had need. Every day they continued to meet in the temple. They ate together in their homes, and they ate with glad and sincere hearts. They praised God and enjoyed the favor of people. And every day the Lord added to their number. This is an excerpt from a history book. There's this guy named Luke, and he's writing about the early church. And he's not just writing sort of years and years and years and years later. He's writing, it's a firsthand experience. This is a movement, and as it happens, he's recording what he sees and hears and experiences. It's from a book called Acts. And this passage I just read is in Acts chapter 2, verses 42 to 47. But for starters, let's think about that excerpt from Luke's book. Who in their right mind actually talks about church as devoted? Why would you use such mushy language to talk about church? It's surely somewhere that you go, not something that you experience and feel. Devoted to teaching, to fellowship, community, eating together, sharing life, living in wonder at what was being done, having everything in common, resourcing each other, meeting needs, gathering in the biggest places that you can find, the temples, and gathering in the smallest places you can share life, the most intimate places, your homes, the big and the small. Daily new people were joining. Daily people wanted to be part of what was going on. Daily people wanted to experience some of this life. Now, I could see this view and I could say that's not my experience. Or I could think, hey, church will never be like that again. That's just some naive dream. And maybe you've had enough experiences to just brush this view off as well. The cynic in you says, yeah, it's really gorgeous now, but just wait till it starts to rain. Maybe like on those home shows when the curtain is pulled back and your eyes begin to adjust to the light. And in truth, you're seeing something that you might not have seen before. And maybe this is taking your breath away. Or maybe like when you make it to the top of that mountain after such an arduous climb, and you're weary and you're worn out from the journey. But when you reach the summit and you begin to see the view, your perspective changes. Maybe seeing this view is warming something in your heart. Maybe it makes you wonder if this could ever be possible again. Maybe a little seed of hope begins to grow in your heart and makes you dream. Maybe those barriers and those arguments questioning the point of church don't seem quite so strong anymore when compared to a view like this. Here we are looking through this window into their lives, and we see something of what they are doing and how they are living. We see that their beliefs affect their behaviors. I don't know about you, but I see this, and something in me says, yes, this is what I want to experience. This is what I believe is possible. This is what I want church to be like. I want it to be more than the place where you get married and buried. I want it to be more than tradition and institution. I want to be part of a dynamic and diverse group of people who care about one another and then do something about it. I want to be part of something that has an impact on community and people's lives. And is it any wonder that when people saw this, they were attracted and wanted to be part of it too? Wouldn't you want to be part of something like that? This becomes a window that I look through, and I see a whole new way of living and loving. I look through this window and I understand that this doesn't happen randomly or by accident. This can only happen on purpose. This happens because devoted people become active people. I think these people, they did the couch to 5K. They got up off their backsides and they got moving. They did something other than just watch TV. See, church wasn't supposed to be a cinema that we go to be entertained, a shop to be a consumer, or a cafe where we go and just be waited on. They got involved, engaged, they participated, they gave of their time, their skills, and their resources. But why in the world would you do that? It's because they were captured by a purpose bigger than themselves. Their lives were changed because of Jesus, and it changed everything about their lives. Church was never a moment. It was a movement. It was a gathering of multicultural, multi-ethnic, every age, male, female, rich, poor, educated, uneducated, the intellectual, the emotional, the rational, and the irrational. It was the employers, the employees, and the unemployed. Everyone together, all united by one thing alone. Their lives were changed because of Jesus. And Jesus changed everything about their lives. That was the level playing field. And this was not a secret to be kept. It was a story to be shared. It was something you must tell. They had to tell everyone. They couldn't keep quiet about it, and they weren't embarrassed about it. They didn't do the social action and then try to dumb down or be quiet about why they were doing it. They weren't afraid of culture, and they didn't try to hide themselves away and protect themselves from the world. They didn't go into a little bubble with other like-minded Jesus followers and lock the doors. No, they threw open the windows, and they opened the windows wide to the world, and they said, let us show you the view. Let us show you a new way of living and loving. Now, their purpose is our purpose. It has never changed. It is simply about helping people find and follow Jesus, and doing everything we can to reach everyone we can. Their focus is our focus. It has never changed. It is simply helping people find and follow Jesus, doing everything we can to reach everyone we can. Their vision is our vision. It has never changed. Help people find and follow Jesus, and do everything we can to reach everyone we can. That's why they did what they did, and that's why we do what we do. See, it's not about us. They set aside their personal preferences for a greater purpose. This is what the church is supposed to be like. The story of Jesus tells us that Jesus stepped down from his royalty, his deity, his superiority, and he stepped down from all those things to move heaven and earth so he could fulfill the purpose of reaching you. There's a story where it tells us about a shepherd that leaves the 99 sheep that are safe and protected and fine and cared for and looked after, the 99 sheep in the fold. He leaves the 99 sheep just to go and find the one. He goes out of his way. You know, when I go home today, let's be honest, I've got 2 more Zoom calls today. And in truth, sometimes I'm a bit zoomed out. I don't really care about going on more calls and meetings that are done digitally and just looking at a screen. My personal preference is to not have another Zoom call. However, creating the environment and connecting with community is more important than my personal preferences. You know, when we meet together again in person, my personal preference would probably be to turn up and show up when everything is done so I can just enjoy the experience, if I'm really honest with you. However, I will show up and I will get involved because doing everything I can to reach everyone I can is a greater purpose. I'd rather stay inside where it's warm, but I will stand outside in the cold or the rain or the sunshine, and I'll welcome you. Because you feeling welcome is more important than me being comfortable. I will serve and help and look after your children, because my desire to create a place where those who are unchurched and their families can feel safe and loved and looked after is more important than my preferences. I'm going to give rather than hoard, because looking after one another is more important than looking after myself. And sometimes this is hard work, and I'd prefer to stop. Maybe I don't want to keep hiking up this mountain, but I know that helping people find and follow Jesus is a greater purpose that I will give my life to. Sometimes I do want to just walk away, but I know doing everything I can to reach everyone I can is a greater purpose. You see, the church is supposed to be different to culture. Our society and our culture is so self-absorbed and self-focused. The church is supposed to be something totally different to culture. We are a window, and others are looking into it. Others are looking through it, and I really wonder what they are seeing. And as the church, as the followers of Jesus, come on, we do not need to be embarrassed, ashamed, or afraid. We need to shine bright. We need to shine boldly. You know, fear is contagious. If you've caught anything this whole last year, fear is so contagious. I've been in shops where people actually try to step further away from each other and back away, and people are pulling, and fear is so contagious. It's around us everywhere right now. But did you know hope is contagious, and so is love? Let's spread something worth living for. Now that you've been leaning in with me, and you've had this view, I wonder if you'd like to discover more. If you're a follower of Jesus already, I hope that you have been provoked by this view of church. Maybe something in your heart has stirred. And is this the type of community that you want to be part of? Is this the view that you want your loved ones to see? Is this the view that you want your neighbor to experience? Is this the view you want your colleagues to share? Is this the view that you want your neighborhood, your city, your town? Is this the view that you want others to see? And if you're a follower of Jesus already, I'm going to challenge you. What can you do to help make this a reality? What in your life needs to change to make this happen? Maybe you need to stop thinking about church as something just for you. It's not a cinema, a supermarket, or a cafe. Maybe you need to set aside personal preferences for a greater purpose. And maybe you need to do the couch to 5K. You know, get off your butt and start exercising. Get moving. Get engaged. Get involved. And if you're not yet a follower of Jesus, I hope that by inviting you to this view, that something in your heart has also stirred. Is this the type of community that you want to be part of? Is this the type of community that something inside you says, I wish I could experience that? I want to invite you to join this life. I want to invite you to come and experience for yourself, come and experience firsthand what it means to be totally devoted. I long for you to live a life that is fulfilling. This guy named Max Lucado, he writes this. His quote says, "We fear finishing last. We fear going broke. We fear the mole on the back, the new kid at school, the sound of the clock as it ticks us closer to the grave. Fear is a bully, brash, loud, and unproductive. But fear never wrote a symphony, a poem, negotiated a peace treaty, or cured a disease. Fear never pulled a family out of poverty or a country out of bigotry. Fear never saved a marriage or a business. Courage did that. Faith did that." Are you at the point in your life where you are ready to admit that you need to discover a different way of living and loving? The beautiful thing about following Jesus is you have the responsibility for your own heart. Instead of being forced, you're invited. You're invited to follow. Today could be the day that you take courage and step out in faith. Today could be the day that you take responsibility for your heart and you choose where you give your devotion. Today could be the day that you choose to follow Jesus. No matter where you are or what you've done, no matter where you were born or the color of your skin, Jesus is the way for everyone to have a relationship with God. Everybody's invited, everybody's included, and everybody's important. You don't have to try and become a better person first and then somehow you earn God's love. Instead, you change because you experience God's love. As you journey step by step in learning to trust and follow Jesus, you discover and experience more of God's love in your life. And this is what changes you. This is what changes all of us. This is what gives life greater purpose. Jesus moved heaven and earth to demonstrate his love. Through his death on the cross and then coming back to life, he took all of your wrongs and he gave you all of his right. I'm going to pray a really simple prayer. It's just a way to talk. And if you want to give your life to Jesus, you could join me in praying this prayer. Jesus, I'm sorry for the way that I tried to live my life without you. I trust who you are. I believe in you, that you gave your life. You died for us and you rose again for us. Today I choose to follow you. I know you will be with me and help me in this adventure of a lifetime. Amen. Maybe you prayed this prayer today and it's the first time you've ever prayed something like this. I'd love it if you could contact us. Just get in touch with us. Simplest way to do it is to contact us, hello@nlcletchworth.org. That way we can journey with you. We can walk with you. You're not going to get put on a mailing list and bombarded with a bunch of information. It's just a way to reach out and say, hey, I've made this choice and I'd like to walk together. I'd like to learn more. What can we do? How can I grow? How can I learn? Just reach out, get in touch with us. It's hello@nlcletchworth.org. Or maybe today you're thinking, yeah, I'm curious, but I'm not really ready to make a decision. We would love to walk with you too, wherever you are in your journey of faith. One of the things we are doing after Easter, we're running a course called the Alpha Course. The beautiful thing about the Alpha Course is there's no question off limits. It's a let's get together, let's discuss, let's question, let's learn, let's wrestle with what it means to be a follower of Jesus. You're very welcome to join the course. Just join the first night and see how it goes. If it's helpful, come again the next week. If that's helpful, come again the next week. But do something about your curiosity. In a moment, we're going to sing a song. And this song talks about the lengths that Jesus went to demonstrate his love for you. It talks about him leaving the 99 to find the one, that his life was surrendered to a greater purpose than his own. So let's get together. And if this is the first time you heard this song, we will sing it for you. The words will come up on screen. Or maybe you're already a follower of Jesus. And in your living room or wherever you are watching this, you join us and sing out and be challenged by the purpose greater than yourself to give your life for another. Let's worship and sing together now.
Before I spoke a word, you are singing over me. You have been so, so good.
Thank you so much for joining us today. If you found this message helpful and hopeful, please share it. Pass it on with someone else. Next Sunday, we are back from 9:30. We've got content for children and young people up to year 6 called All Superstars every Sunday at 9:30. And then we'll be back here again from 10:20. Next Sunday, we've got a special update about one of the ways that we are practically serving our community and doing something about being the church. A new way of living and loving. I'm excited that we're going to have an update next Sunday regarding TLG. If you don't know what that is, come in next Sunday and you'll find out some more about that. Finally, if there's anything we can do to serve you, to walk together and journey with you, please contact us. hello@nlcletchworth.org. We would love to walk and journey together. Have a great rest of the day, a great week, and we'll see you here next Sunday. Take care. Bye-bye.